All right. Now that it's very clear that soccer is obviously like hotspot for conflict at our school, let's try to think of some root causes. Why do you think some of these behaviors are happening on the field?
Um, Probably because of poor role models such as, parents, whether at home or even just watching on TV, the World Cup or whatever sport, whatever, league what they're showing on the TV, and they're watching all these guys arguing with the refs or with the coaches and things like that.
I think that they haven't had an opportunity to really practice the expectations of what the school, like what expectations the school wants them to be able to demonstrate out there. And so they're kind of just like being that, like they're just going by the rules that they understand out in like professional soccer. And so they're bringing that, but not really understanding how it's different here at school than out in professional soccer or recreational soccer by adults.
I agree with you. Sometimes I notice too that there isn't like enough equipment, like for them to like actually play, like how they should be. They're always arguing about like what's a goal or what isn't because there's like no net or like no goal for them to actually score in. And so I guess the lack of materials that they need, like the equipment, could be a problem. What do you think, Mr. Garvey?
I mean, all those sound great. Those are things that could possibly turn all of this around. So I agree with all that.
Yeah, can I add one more?
Go ahead.
I was also thinking the lack of supervision because we don't have enough adults out there. Like, it almost feels like you need one person just there on the field with them. But of course, we only have so many adult supervisions out there that are not able to monitor the game that's happening in the moment.
That is a good one.
Yes, I agree with that. And not even that alone, it's also, do they understand the rules of the game?
The adults.
The
Yes.
Adults.
Yeah.
Right, that's true too. Thank you for sharing, everybody. So now that we talk about what are some root causes, let's talk about what we can try. Like, what are some possible solutions that you might think would help or benefit our students? As you know, we had already discussed this in the prior meeting, so thank you, Mr. Garley and Judith, for sending me some ideas in email that you guys came up with. So let's try to strategize right now. What do you think we should try? Let's hear from folks. Who wants to go first?
I mean, I've been to a PBS training, and I mean, I remember one of the things that was very important is always reinforcing what the positive behavior is by, I know we have tickets, Panther tickets here at our school, so, really using those Panther tickets to reinforce a positive behavior, like when they're doing something correct.
That sounds great.
Cool. I would want to add maybe modeling and role playing to the expected behaviors.
Yes, definitely they need that role model and like that modeling in front of them.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Role play is fun for them. It keeps them engaged.
I'm open to trying multiple or a variety of methods, but I think that explicit explaining and teaching of the rules would go a long way in helping their behavior and having it to where we can have equal play and have everyone have an enjoyable time out there. If everybody knows and have some universal rules, this is what's happening, they know what's happening, the supervisors knows what's happening, and that way we can eliminate some of the conflict a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with you. Thank you for sharing. Do you all think that we can kind of like culminate our strategies, maybe?
I think, we can model. I know there's been, some PBS lessons where it's the teachers and the students. So the students are modeling for other students. Sometimes even the teachers are showing like the bad behavior and the kids are showing the correct behavior. Or maybe we can even do like a role play where the kids, we can have a few kids playing, maybe some teachers playing in that game, but us, showing the incorrect behavior.
So maybe coming up with some lessons that we can do explicit teaching, do some role model or sort of modeling and role playing, and at the same time like explicitly teach them what positive behavior we're looking for.
Mhm,
Does that sound like good to everybody?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how about we vote for it first, just to see that everyone's on the same page? Show me a thumbs up for a consensus that you agree with this strategy.
Definitely.
Great, thank you. So now that we are on board and on the same page, let's try to see who can take on what roles. So we agreed that we're gonna do lessons or create lessons. So I think one of the lessons that we should focus on would be respect.
I can
Another,
take that one.
yeah, because a lot of them was
Yeah.
Like sports.
disrespect,
Yeah.
sportsmanship, maybe conflict resolution.
Take on conflict
I'm
resolution.
gonna take that one on, and then I can do maybe emotional control.
Mhm.
And then Judy, did you want to take on like?
Like the roles or?
Okay, yes, that sounds great. Once we have, today's Thursday, so we probably will have to, after school and then also the weekend to work on our lessons, that way we have them ready by Monday. Does that sound okay to everybody? And then on Monday, we can start teaching our lessons to our students, to our own classrooms. I had in my mind kind of like an idea, like that we can rotate our classes.
That's a good idea.
You think
So
so?
we only teach one lesson,
Yeah.
our particular lesson, but we teach it to every single class.
Yes,
Yes,
exactly.
exactly.
I think that works as well,
Like a
because,
rotation, right?
right, because that way we can try with our own students and see like maybe how well we can, like if there's ways we can improve the lesson by the time to get to more, working with other classes.
We get more
Yeah.
practice for it.
So like a rotation, does that sound good to you,
That
Mr. Garvey?
sounds excellent.
Cool. So on Monday we'll have our first one ready, and then we'll kind of like create a schedule, and then also how about Friday, the last day that we teach our lessons, we can have like a culminating soccer game where the students can show us what they've learned and apply the good sportsmanship, the respect, the emotional control, and then we can see if there's any growth there. Do you guys agree with that one too?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be
Okay.
amazing.
One thought that I had was that not all our kids in our school play soccer. So, are we still going to, include or involve all those students even if they don't play soccer? Like, what are your, I don't know.
What are your thoughts?
I think we could, at least if they don't want to participate, at least as viewers, so that way they can understand the rules too, so they can help out, like, hey, you're not doing it correctly, you need to do this, and so that way everybody can be aware of the rules, of the procedures.
That's a good idea.
And would it be like a 7 versus 7, like exactly what we do right here at school?
Yeah, kind of model our expectations that we have right now,
Mhm.
and we can maybe create like a tournament, some kind of event
Yeah,
like that.
Mhm.
I think that would be good.
Okay, we can talk about it more a little bit later in more detail.
Sounds
Alright.
good.